And welcome to the Super Fun Awesome Mapping Up Pedal Show. I'm Gabor.
Hey, welcome. I'm Alex.
And we have a special guest today. Craig is coming to help us out, and he brought another special guest.
Oh, we forgot the angelic sample.
There's all these unicorns and rainbows just behind the camera that you can't see at the moment. We've got the Klon Centaur. Thank you so much for bringing it in.
Oh, mate, thanks
for coming in.
Mate, thanks for having me. It's good being sick and coming in from work and helping you guys out.
Yes. If you're Craig's boss, that was not the day he took off.
No.
That was on a weekend that we filmed this.
It's good being here, part of the show, mate. What you guys do is fantastic.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thanks
heaps. You've had this for a while, hey?
Oh, we're pretty much ever since they come out, and possibly since they hit Australia. Like, I don't know how it worked back then and how dealers got it, but it'd come across me. So
just in a music shop?
No, it was actually through a guitar teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. So and the usual thing, I think we were talking about the size and the power supply. So it was like, you want to buy this, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Because that's and if you kind of watch the show or listen to the podcast, you know that I'm an idiot, and I used to have one of these, exactly the same, and that was one of the main reasons I got rid of it. Is because it had that 3.5mm, like a headphone jack power supply, which back in the days was not as easy as now, where you have converters and all that sort of stuff. It was a real pain in the butt to get, and then quite often the actual power supply part was huge. So it would take up not just the one spot in the power board, but you can't plug anything into the two power points next to it. So anyway, so that's why I got rid of mine. I'm an idiot. And I used a Metal Zone at the time, and a Bosch and a Marshall Shredmaster, and a Zoom 505.
Wow.
Which I chose over theirs.
You never know, they could be worth thousands in a few years' time.
You never know, yes. No.
and you're like, that setup sounded so much cooler than that, you know? Like, you're like, oh, man.
At the time, in my late teens, early 20s, it was all about lots of distortion, lots of gain, which this didn't have.
Lots of noise.
Lots of noise.
Well, same here. I swapped it for a digital metalizer, as we were talking before.
See, it's not just me.
which is almost like a chainsaw these days, and I was like, oh, so much better than the Klon, you know? I was like, yeah, but because this just doesn't do that. It's almost hard to get a bad sound out of it, I think.
Yes. Well, on that note,
should we hear some sounds?
Let's hear some sounds. So we're, as always, going into the Seritone OTS Mini 20, which is just there. We had the Pictronics Ecolution 2 Ultra Pro on for the intro as well. We've got the 3 guitars, Jazzmaster. Craig brought his Les Paul in for the humbucker sound, and we've got the Strat for the single coils. So let's hear some clean sound.
As clean as you get.
Lovely. Now let's get ready for the sound. Does sound good.
I don't think it sucks.
No. I do believe it sounds good. So as always with the Klon, and with pretty much most of the clones and everything, 3 knobs, gain, treble, output. It's got a lot of headroom. So actually, let's try that. We sort of tried that, but let's turn the gain all the way down, and to see how much we can crank the amp. can. There's a lot of headroom there, so you can really.
Yeah, all that overdrive is coming from the front end.
So that's the front end. That's the amp begging for mercy, basically. Okay, let's try.
Yeah, another popular way is actually go exactly the opposite.
That's it. Yeah.
Go in the gain and then just bring the output up a little bit.
That's it.
Yeah, one way you get more of the pedal characteristics, and the other way you get more of the amp characteristics. So depends what you want to do.
Yeah, depends what you want to do. So let's try the exact opposite. So let's go output. Let's go like somewhere there.
Yeah, one thing we found, boosting the treble and neck pickups.
To me, like with all the clones we've used, one of the sort of for us the magic spot was almost neck pickup, single coil neck pickup, and then boosted treble, and it gives you that really nice throaty sound. I'm plugged in. Can I have a go? Is that Jazzmaster clean sound? It's a lot less output than a Les Paul, obviously, but let's try the same thing again. Gain all the way down, and do the output up. Maybe Alex, if that's all right.
In clean boost mode, basically.
Yeah.
What you're doing then, yeah.
It's basically using it as a
no gain.
Very clean boost.
Yeah.
But it just has such a nice tone.
It does, doesn't it?
It does definitely have it is a good pedal.
Well, that's what I found. Originally, I bought it as a boost, but every gig I was like, okay, I'm going to use this in lead breaks. But then you're never doing the whole gig with it on.
You never turn it off.
It just airs. It gives it an airy, just
now
does something. You know,
it's those unicorns.
It is. It's the unicorn tears. It has to be. You know, it's like when we pulled the back off before. You know, like
there's we went live on Facebook before when we opened the back up and looked at the goop. So if you want to see that, go to our social media, go to Facebook. Let's try the opposite now. Let's gain it up.
Obviously, the other thing we love about these type of pedals is note definition.
Note definition, yeah. So you got that. You hear every note.
Yes.
It's not muddled. It's you know what? Actually, just playing this now, the Phoenix.
Oh yeah.
I do think that's very close to Phoenix. Just the Tone Monk Phoenix. Check out the other demos, and we're going to do the big shootout as well. But just from hearing that, because that's one of my pedals, and it does remind me a lot of that. It is the only other gooped pedal, the gooped clone, the Phoenix.
Well, when you're playing, then you're getting just like a classic rock sound that the Con does. You know.
Yep. We won't play anymore because of copyright laws, but.
Can I pitch a cable for you?
You certainly can.
Oh yeah, and then we'll do the least manly guitar.
Yeah, this will be cool. I like the sound of that with the strap.
Thanks, darling.
Okay, clean. Oh, I think you need to switch to you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so let's try the same thing again. Let's go crank the output.
There you go. That's not a chord.
That's a nice.
Yeah,
that's just a nice clean,
yeah.
like a clean with character.
Okay,
Okay.
you're on neck then.
That was mostly neck. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just has that throatiness, and yeah, especially I always find on the Strat, and it works with this just as well as it did with all the other ones, if not better. Bring the treble up and go on a neck pickup, and it just has that. Play it again. So this is the clean. Beautiful dynamics too, always with these things. All right, now let's go the opposite way again. Let's do gain.
Okay. Punchy.
That sounds great. That sounds really, really cool. Should we now go into a dirty amp?
Yes.
Yes. We'll be back right after this. And we're back. Hello. So we're now in a dirty channel of the Seritone OTS Mini 20, and it sounds with the whoever's on at the moment.
Me.
Suchly. All right, now let's do this again. Let's turn the gain down and just crank the output. Rock and roll.
Right on.
All right, there was a lot of gain there.
It was a lot.
So again, with that sort of stuff, if you want to hear more of the sound of the amp, you crank the output more. If you want to hear more of the sound of the pedal, you crank the gain more. All right, Les Paul. Let's do the same thing. So much more gain. So this is just the amp now. Yeah. It was almost a bit too much gain there once. Just with the Les Paul.
With really high gain stuff, you have to watch how you steer the notes there.
Well, that's how with my little black dots. That's through my setup. That's where I found it just doesn't affect anything. It just improves the sound, I think. So.
All right, let's try the setting. So that's the. So that's what we always we've coined the term embiggen. So it embiggens the sound. Well, it just makes it. It takes the normal sound and it just adds that those unicorn tears to it.
Yeah.
It just gives it that
Gypsy wee or
Yeah.
gypsy wee.
I think they used the last of it on these silver ones too before they went the gold ones, you know?
I think, yeah. One's got the unicorns
Yeah.
tears, the other one's got the gypsy wee. That's why it went from silver to
Yeah,
gold.
this is definitely that's definitely the unicorn tears one, that one.
Carney discretion. No. Should we hear your red thing?
Yeah. Who wants to give me the cable?
Here you go, mate.
All right.
Pass.
Sorry, we only have a two-way switcher. All right. Let's get cloned. Oh.
That's how you should shut them up.
Cool.
That is really cool.
That's a nice sound,
Should we
yeah.
go back to the settings of
Oh, Craig settings, yeah.
recommendation?
Just gives it that extra something. You still get no definition. That's what I'm getting at. You
Yeah,
still
absolutely.
hear the. It's not just. You can hear the chord, and it's even with a little bit dissonant sort of chord like a major 9.
Yeah.
Well, even when you were turning the knobs before, it's going from like a grungy type sound
Yeah.
to a metally sound to a bluesy sound. A lot of pedals can't pull that off.
No.
You know, regardless, you're playing a different style. But
Yeah,
some pedals
yeah.
just can't change
No.
a sound like this can, you know?
No. It's. I mean, there is a reason why people will fork out $2,000+ for those things, and there's a reason why guys like Jeff Beck and John Mayer and
Yep.
you name it play them.
Totally. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the Klon. Thank you so much for bringing it in, Craig.
My pleasure.
And
Super cool.
Thanks for having me.
everyone's anytime. And stay tuned for the big shooter out. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do this with releasing videos, but it'll be fairly closely together.
Yeah.
So it'll be probably, if this just came out, it'll be like the day after or 2 days after that the big shootout will be out. So stay tuned for that. Also, around about the time when that is out, stay tuned for our podcast, because we're going to do, when we do the big shootout, which in real life time will happen now, but in YouTube time will happen like in a day or two. We're going to do a
That's
podcast.
confusing as hell.
That's confusing. Marty McFly knows exactly what I'm talking about.
We don't need those.
Make sure to check out the podcast, because in the podcast we'll actually be talking about our thoughts on comparing Craig's thoughts, and possibly Ben also, if he sticks around. The guy's going to do some filming.
Yep.
Our thoughts on how this one stacked up with all the clones. So make sure to check that out. Big thank you for watching. Thanks, Craig.
My pleasure.
Thank
Thanks,
you so much.
guys.
It was very fun.
And check out social media, all that stuff below us. Instagram, Facebook,
MySpace.
MySpace,
Yeah.
MySpace, yes.
Don't forget MySpace.
MS-DOS.
And all that stuff. Thank you so much. See you next time.
See ya.